Hello and welcome to this edition of Diaspora Central. My name is Gil Ingles, and with me today in the studio, yes, ladies and gentlemen, I mean in the studio, it's Mr. MADD Kyng. Excuse me, let me not say Mr., I should say Sir MADD Kyng, because this man, when it comes to canvas, pens, ink, paint, you name it, if it is art, he is the man to do it. MADD Kyng, welcome to Diaspora Central.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. How you feeling?
Feeling great.
Man, it's been a minute.
Definitely has, man.
One of Houston's greatest. Light with the hand.
Appreciate it, man. Definitely try to be very surgical when I approach any projects.
Very creative.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Able to translate what you envision into
raw material.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. That's a great ability to have.
It's very godlike.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like some strong
True reality.
manifestation, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Making reality, controlling the universal space around you.
There you go.
You know.
Energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Being a true portal of positive energy.
Exactly.
Yeah. On today's interview, man, we're gonna go back because we want to figure out how did this bundle of energy that we and the world today knows as MADD Kyng come to happen. Right? Where were you born?
I was born in North Carolina in Fort Bragg. Both my parents were in the military.
Oh, wow.
When they met. So I was born there, came to Houston when I was 2.
Okay.
Had a lot of different points of adversity. And the reason why I came to Houston is because I was in an accident. This babysitter had dropped me on my head. Oh. So I basically had like this dent in the side of my head. I was supposed to be like brain damaged and all that stuff.
Oh, wow.
So half my body was swollen at like age of 10 months. And so basically my grandparents came and got me and took care of me until my parents were out of the military. My parents, one is white and one is black.
Right.
So my grandparents that are black came from Houston, came and got me.
Yeah.
Basically, my grandma raised me as her youngest son type stuff. Still looks at me as her youngest son.
There you go.
You know. But, yeah, man, I got a lot of different perspectives.
Yeah.
And from being in different environments just because I'm mixed.
Right.
Growing up definitely didn't necessarily have like, I'm, hanging out with these people or hanging out with these people.
Right.
Like I remember my first like best friends were like Vietnamese and Indian.
Right.
So I was like either not black enough or not white enough type stuff.
There you go.
So
you're a hybrid.
Yeah,
you're a hybrid. You're sitting right somewhere. You know
what I'm saying?
No one knows where.
So I got a lot of like different perspectives of diversity growing up.
Yeah.
It wasn't probably until maybe when I was like 8 or 9 that I probably felt more connected with my black side.
Yeah, your African heritage.
Right. My grandfather, he's a reverend as well.
Okay.
And my grandma, she's from Louisiana, so it's a lot of like Creole culture,
got you
type stuff down there.
So you definitely hybrid. So you have the portion of the Anglophone American, the portion of the Francophone American. Yeah. Now, which one of the sides is from Louisiana?
My grandma's from Louisiana.
Okay, that's on the African side.
I would say it's the French side. Yeah, the last name was Saint Cyr.
Oh yeah, definitely French. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely French. Now, do you speak any Creole at all?
No, I don't speak any Creole.
No, have you had a chance to visit Haiti?
I have not. I haven't been to any of the Caribbean islands.
Yeah, or Martinique, or yeah. It's I think it's one of those connections that most individuals honestly connected to Louisiana, in my personal opinion, should at some point make in their life, because I think we would open their eyes a little bit to their heritage.
No, definitely.
Yeah, we'll get them a bit closer to the roots. Of course, I mean the biggest move would actually be to go to a francophone country, probably in Africa. Or it doesn't have to be francophone. Any African country is definitely the ultimate goal, right?
No, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely is definitely to go.
Yeah. Have you had a chance to visit the continent?
I actually have plans. I had an opportunity back in college, but it was kind of out of my price range.
Right.
I had minored in African studies, so that is definitely where I felt even more connected when I went to college. I started just doing Black study classes, and it was just like, they don't teach you none of this stuff. It's cool. So I was like, yo, I need to know more. So I took African history, I took African literature, I took African psychology, even Afrofuturism, like the art perspective. But it was just great to like feel it, see it, and then like even the community that was there at my college, it was mixed. People from like LA, different parts of Cali, different parts of it was very diverse, and it was different African communities, a lot of Ethiopians, Nigerians. A lot of people always thought I was Habesha.
There you go.
And then like after Nipsey passed, that people thought I was Eritrean.
Yeah.
So I was like,
it's funny because the first time I saw you, I actually thought you were either Eritrean or Ethiopian.
Yeah, man, I get that. It's the nose. So I'll be like, basically anything that's around
you have a lot
the
of features.
equator. Anything on the equator itself is basically what I get, depending on my hairstyle. Like, back in high school, I had like long hair without the locks. And it was like real curly, so people thought I was Puerto Rican, Dominican, Panama.
Yeah, you can pass for that too.
I get a lot.
And I think they probably, if you get a short haircut and you suit up, like if you put one of those tight suits, you could probably look.
Eastern, you
will definitely look like a guy from South France or Italy, like down.
I get that so much, bro. Like anything around the equator.
Yeah,
just nothing like Asian Pacific. Yeah.
There you go. But that's a good asset to have, though, especially if you were to get into acting. Have you acted before?
No, I haven't like done any acting, but I do like little like funny skits. But I know I'm a personality like just itself, so I just like it comes natural to me. Like, I always thought I was like, I should have my own TV show at the age of 6.
There you go, man. Look, maybe I need to bring you in as a co-host.
Yeah, for real.
We should think about creating a show for you, in all honesty, and try to put that on the Diaspora Network.
I even thought about doing radio DJ. I was like, yo, I got the voice for it. I was like, welcome to the midnight hour.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? I'm coming in deep with the voice. So
no, that's definitely, man, but a very interesting story. So, man from the East Coast comes to the Gulf Coast because of wow, dude. But and I'm trying to now, I guess, get on the scientific side of it, because you're very creative, and for some reason, I've read somewhere that normally if people suffer some sort of trauma to the brain, that sometimes tends to unlock the creative side.
The pineal gland is typically, like, say, like blows to the head will sometimes basically awaken the pineal gland. So I've had numerous blows to the head, which is crazy. So this one was the first one at 10 months, and then this one was at 18 when I had a car accident. I got like 28 stitches or something.
Oh man, wow.
It was like 8 stitches, 20 staples.
Right. Now, and this is now just curiosity. Did you, after, let's say, the first blow, did you notice any improvement in any area that you previously probably didn't have? I'm not acting like I'm researching here.
I mean, I feel like when I was young, I was always kind of on the creative side.
Yeah.
And then I ended up focusing everything into sports between the ages 6 and 18. It was probably when I turned 18, I was getting ready for college, and I'd just be bored.
Yeah.
In class, and I'd just be drawing and stuff. So
yeah.
Just because. But after I had my accident, senior year, second semester, I really started to like focus, and I really knew that I needed to kind of go to a new environment to kind of like rebuild myself, and also just learn more.
Gotcha.
Grow.
Yeah.
I just felt like if I would have stayed in Houston, I would just probably gone down the wrong path.
Yeah.
So I felt like going to California.
There you go.
It would have been like the best option. Just the vibes out there was just, great. So But after I initially went to school for business finance.
And what school was it? What school
San Diego State.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had scholarships from St. John, Hawaii, Berry, Howard.
St. John's would put you back in New York, in the East Coast, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I visited that campus, and I also visited the San Diego State campus. Once I visited San Diego State, I was like, I like New York, but Cali is it's so different.
Yeah, because what's his name? The rapper. He also went to St. John's.
J. Cole.
Yeah, J. Cole. Yeah.
So guess what? He's actually is from the same city I was from.
Oh, really?
Carolina,
and you guys also have sort of a similarity.
Yeah, he's mixed. His parents were in. His dad was in the Army.
Right.
But we're both from Fayetteville, Dreamville.
Got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, we're gonna take a very quick break because we gotta take a look at some of your content. Because when we talk about someone being creative, a lot of people don't quite understand what that means. So, any piece of yours, anything that we could actually pass, we're gonna go ahead and pass right now during this break so that our audience can take a look at it. So we'll be right back in 2 and 2.
I know you're somewhere out there, somewhere far away. I want you back. I want you back. I want you back. I want
And we are back. If you have just tuned in, you are currently locked into Diaspora Central with Gil Ingles, and my guest today is MADD Kyng. Yes, the artist. MADD Kyng. Diaspora, stand up. Because one of the most creative individuals that I've ever come to know is in the building. Man. Earlier, you mentioned the fact that you actually did have an accident as a child that brought you to Houston, Texas. So, did you go to elementary school here in Houston?
I did.
Okay, what school did you go to?
I went to a few of them growing up.
Yeah, give us some of them, and especially the ones that you think that somewhat had an influence.
Definitely.
I
would say it was Briargate Elementary, and then it was also probably Lambkin Elementary.
Okay. Now, any specific teachers that, in your opinion, made somewhat of a difference around that time? That sort of marked you?
I would probably have to say it was my 5th grade teacher.
Okay.
And that was because at the time, I was transferred into what was considered the GT K-level classes.
Okay.
Basically,
what does that mean?
The gifted and talented students. So basically, the above average.
There you go.
And what was crazy from it, because at 1st grade, basically, I was on the course at that first elementary, Briargate. I was in course with everybody else, but basically I guess I didn't get credit for kindergarten type stuff, so basically I had to go back a grade.
Oh wow.
And relearn.
Right.
And so I'm coming from Briargate Elementary, which is basically in Missouri City, and then I'm going to eventually Lambkin, which is in Cypress.
Okay.
And at this point, they're trying to put me in special ed classes type stuff because I couldn't really read that well.
Wow.
But my stepdad wasn't having it. He was like, just do
toughen up,
you know. So basically, I would do tutoring. Like I would just basically leave during the day for like an hour, go do like reading exercises and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But by the time I got to 5th grade, I went from almost being put into like special ed classes, which they try to do to young black men all the time. They try to put them into these special ed classes. Basically it just keeps their education level real poor. And, trying to see Mike Epps, the comedian, he always talks about being put into the special ed class, because that's what they try to do.
I think Les Brown, also the motivational speaker. He also mentions that he's also someone that at one point in his life he was basically put in a special ed class simply because he had a speech impediment. He stuttered. It's so your 5th grade teacher is actually the one individual that comes in. Was it a him or her? If you remember the name, you can give the name.
Her name was Miss High Note, but basically at this point in time, I was put into the GT level class. So
got you.
This is above average. You're away from all the regular kids with all the smart kids type stuff. So I went from almost being in this type of class to the above average class.
So a life-changing experience right there.
Right.
Yeah. Now from the perspective, and I kind of want you to go back now into the mindset that you had somewhat around that time. From that perspective of were you fearful? Where were you standing mentally? Because I mean, it's
I never really did like reading in the first place.
Right.
I just didn't like it.
Yeah.
But other than that, like I was excelled more so in like science and math.
Gotcha.
I just get bored of reading. I like listening to books. I can even read them sometimes on on like the iPad and stuff.
Yeah.
But really, it's the smell of the pages that just like irritate my nose.
I know
so
you.
bad.
Oh, really?
And
The paper.
The paper. It just irritates my nose, and then when I hear people reading, I just get so drowsy and stuff. And
Man. So it's almost like you're being hypnotized.
Basically. Like I'm being read to sleep type shit for bedtime. Like it's the nap time.
Yeah.
Well, we don't do naps no more. It's in 5th grade. But for real though, like
man, that's funny. That's funny. Are you currently married?
Nah, but I'm with
with a special someone.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Does she know that?
The whole like
about you reading you in paper, you in books. Yeah, she knows now.
I have books. Like I have books. I like having hard books and stuff. But back then, it was like sitting down in a circle with the knees crossed and then have to read this book. This boring book.
Just annoying. Yeah, I can see her now. Probably after this interview, you get home, be like, you know what? I think he needs to go to sleep right now. He's getting on my nerves. Honey, won't you come and let's take a look at this book?
She already knows how I go to sleep. All I gotta do is lay on her,
and you're
done.
Yeah. And that's a good thing, because I mean, one of the cool things that normally happens, and especially with individuals like you who are very creative and you are very aware of the energy around them, is the fact that they actually are so focused onto the core of being happy, that normally it's very difficult to see them out of their element. Right. Are you at 100 on that? Let's say if you had to kind of grade yourself somewhere between 0 to 100, where are you on that spectrum?
Well, I mean, I be feeling pretty blessed, every day. But I know I have goals that I want to achieve. Like I'm pretty like motivated and inspired and fueled and driven every morning. Like I don't need like an alarm clock. I get up like that.
So what's your time?
Like 6
a.m. You up and running, and you also an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah, I'm an entrepreneur, but I also like work during the morning. So I basically do a lot of like creative luxury custom finishes with this company, Marketing Merch. So any bars that have greenery in it, like Bar Seaside, Rose Gold, Rise. It's basically like anything that's like has like a lot of creative finishes to it. Basically, that's
you
us doing
it.
it.
Wow.
So we did Parma pizza, like all the greenery in the front and in the back. So we're working on this other black-owned bar that's like in Midtown area.
Gotcha.
But yeah, man, it's awesome doing that just because it's all creative. Like, and I'm learning new things through my boss. So he always like, he's been doing it for like 15 years.
Oh man,
he has like all the connections. Like I met him at Astro Festival.
Okay, what is that festival right there?
Astro Festival is the one that's hosted by Travis Scott.
Okay.
And they hosted at NRG, so it's basically like a big old concert festival with rides and stuff.
Yeah, at the Energy Stadium.
Yeah. So they're doing
that's a big venue.
Yeah.
So that's a big festival.
Yeah, it's a big festival. So I don't know if you know, but Astro was an amusement park that used to be across the street from NRG.
Oh,
yeah. So
I was not aware of that. I'm new to Houston.
Yeah, it was Astro Six Flags.
Gotcha.
So it was like built in like 1967, and then they like tore it down in like 2005 or something like that.
Yeah. I came in 10 years later.
Yeah, it was like basically like the place to go during the summer. It had like a Sea World right beside it too.
Gotcha. Oh wow. So all the amusement parks were right in that area.
Yeah, it was like right there. You had the season passes, every summer. So we up there on the rides, and then you had the Astrodome that's across the street that they would host the rodeo and stuff.
Yeah,
but
I've been to that one. Yeah, I've been to that.
So
one.
that's basically Travis's thing, like just bringing back the whole amusement part.
Gotcha.
And it also revolves around his Astroworld album.
So that's really part of the culture of this city.
Yeah, it's a lot of like
that's
nostalgia.
The soul. Yeah, that's the soul of this city. Man, it's interesting because you know what? I read an article previously, and I think it may have been on architectural engineering paper written by someone who was actually trying to lobby for the architectural history of Houston, because they were basically stating on that article in that article that Houston is one of the cities that is losing a lot of its history because a lot of the historic buildings are just like demolished.
Right.
Like, I mean, they just take them out and gone, and they don't leave them. In a lot of cities, they don't do that. Like I know, for instance, in Washington, D.C., man, you can get a home from the inside, but the outside, if it is part of the city, that outside's got to stay exactly like it was when it was built several years ago.
Well, to me, Houston kind of mimics it more in a sense of L.A. because it's so spread out, and it's not compact like Chicago and New York are.
Right.
And a lot of the cities on the East Coast.
Yeah.
So because it's so spread out, and it allows it for it to just keep changing itself and growing and evolving. So I mean, there are still some like historic buildings that are in downtown itself, because that's because they're in downtown. It's like connected to building to building. Yeah. When you
demolish one, you may have to take the whole road down, the whole block.
So I mean, people, they have like a lot of empty buildings downtown though, so don't be surprised to see some of those buildings go down and you see higher buildings go up, because Houston has to compete with other cities as well.
Yes.
So, you know, it's a growing city. It's spreading out even wider and wider. You know, you had 610, and then you had the Beltway, and then now you got the 99.
Right.
So
those belts just keep on coming, and
eventually it's going to be a metropolitan area between Austin, Dallas, San Antonio.
Wow. So this will be a tri-city.
Yeah, basically. Tri-state.
Yeah.
And then they'll probably have like a whole speed metro rail that goes all between them and stuff.
Indeed. Wow. So I didn't mean to sidetrack you, because we were talking about your 5th grade teacher who actually, when you go into the gifted and talented, so in the 5th grade, they discovered that, you know what, this kid is really talented. He's got the gift. He's definitely driven. You mentioned your stepfather, and I kind of want to touch on that a little bit. So, stepdad, what was his name?
His name was Oscar.
Okay.
Yeah.
And give us a bit of his sense, because, you know, everyone, as soon as people hear people talking about stepfather, they always get this sense of, okay, this guy was just there to like whatever. But looks like your stepfather was actually someone definitely involved and definitely looking at your best interest as being always his purpose. So he was not just a stepdad; he was really a dad, a present dad.
More of my father for sure. But he was also mixed as well, black and white. Okay. He was born in Germany.
Oh wow!
His dad was in the military. His mom was like a nurse.
Yeah.
And dad came over, got with another nurse. She adopted him eventually.
Right.
And then he had 2 black parents. But growing up, I did not really like him just because I was like, you're not my dad.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you're not my dad type stuff. Because I was like 5'6" type stuff. So it took time for me to grow. And then even now after I super appreciate everything.
Definitely.
Even from the time that when him and my mom got a divorce, and still I was like, he still was there for me.
That was your dad, yeah.
Yeah, it was still like helping me out with college, got me my first car, and
there you
all that good stuff. So he exposed me to a lot in environment wise, like being from Houston, you know. My mom, she's from a small town in Ohio.
Oh, okay.
She
and what is mom's name?
My mom is her name is Amy.
Okay, Amy. So what did Amy do for a living?
My mom, she worked at my grandfather's company when I was growing up out here in Houston, and then she moved to this life insurance company.
Okay.
And now she's an underwriter.
Oh, wow.
For a life insurance company.
Yeah. Nice. So basically, your stepfather is that representation, right? This like you figure, and he's kind of probably at that point even already projecting
definitely
what your steps may be like, right?
That was the reason why when I was going to college, I was going there for business finance because he was a wealth management, financial advisor. Yeah. So that's what also exposed me to a different environment. It's like I played golf in high school. I was on the golf team. Okay. Because he played golf. Yeah. So I had played golf since I was like 10. So I did football, basketball, track, golf, swim. Yeah. Just because I was active, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's all I was just active. But he was a very athletic person, very disciplined. So I had chores. I remember if I lied one time when I was like young. Yeah. It was lying. I had lied about how I got wet. I got into a water fight, like just like outside. And I said I fell in a puddle. And I got grounded for like 6 months.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Did he take you out for you to show him what puddle you fell into?
He did that. He did that.
Oh man, yeah. My father was.
He did that.
My father was like this. I had sprained my ankle. And I was trying my best not to tell him because he used to tell me not to play with that specific set of kids. And you a kid and you see them playing, the next thing you want to do is get with them. And these guys are way much older than me, man.
Yep.
I stopped playing soccer with them, and one of them just kind of whacks my foot.
I did that with football.
Yeah, man. Oh, my father took me right on down. Okay, and I'm trying to tell him, no, I was running right on the sidewalk. And then I was like, eventually I had to tell him the truth. And
dads be knowing, like, they be knowing for real though. Like you can't get over.
Indeed, no. When they in tune with their families, they definitely can tell when you're telling the truth. But it's actually a very interesting thing also because now you have a very well balanced family, right? In which you have a stepfather who's actually playing that important role, right? So we're gonna take a quick break and then let's come back and talk about the importance of father in families, and especially in mixed families, and also some of the tips that you can give to other kids that may be in a position similar to the positions in which you found yourself as a child. All right, we'll be right back.
Don't give a fuck right now. Ain't like fuck my lord. That might call my lord. Love gon' set me up. Bitch don't set me up. Don't retaliate, He ride like the car. And she wicked. Yeah, like Whoa Vicky. Oh my God. Oh, me damn not tell me. Don't shaking me up and it's making my heart break. Ain't got body roll, don't give a fuck right now. Ain't like fuck my lord, That might call my lord. Love gon' set me up. Bitch, don't set me up. Don't retaliate, yeah. He ride like the car. And she wicked. Yeah, like Wolf Vicky. Yeah. Oh my God. Hold up. Oh, me damn not tell me. Hold up. Yeah. Slow it down. Don't leave. Body roll, don't give a fuck right now. Ain't like fuck my lord, that might call my lord.
And we are back. If you have just tuned in, you're locked into Diaspora Central, and my guest today is MADD Kyng, and we're definitely talking about everything from family on down into professions. I mean, after all, he's creative, so he's creatively taken me through his journey, and I am enjoying this, and I hope that you guys are also enjoying this. MADD Kyng, let's talk a little bit about your social media before we get restarted. So give us your social media.
It's MADD Kyng. It's MADD KYNG. Again, that's MADD KYNG.
Right.
I'm your new favorite artist. MK, your new favorite artist. You're going to see that right in the bio.
Yeah. Your new favorite artist. And you're definitely not lying, because you are one of my new favorite artists, man. I was impressed the first time I seen you actually do some work live, and that was for the film crew. Dapper V, Dapper V. So that right there, I was like, you know what, you gotta be a bad boy.
And that was real light work. Like, I didn't even know what. Like,
right, and yeah, but you were just like, oh man, I'm just like line after line, and all of a sudden this thing is taking actual shape, and you know what impressed me the most though? It was the fact that you actually, before you even started going, you went in and you primed your canvas.
Got to, because I knew that. I mean, I knew it was going to be a timed, basically a timed piece. So I was like, well, let me go ahead and make sure it's prepped properly, that way I can just, go in.
Because you know that's when you know that you got a pro.
Right.
You know someone. You know that you got someone. No, you went to school. You went to school for business. Your minor was in African history. At what point do you?
After one semester of business.
College,
semester of business, I was like, I don't think I want to do this. Like, I know I can make some good money. I know I'm gonna have a job after, because my dad worked in wealth management. He was in Cali already. Yeah. So I was like, this is not what I want to do. Yeah. But I really had a passion for cooking. Like, I love cooking. Yeah. Like, I had even took culinary in high school.
Okay.
But what deteriorated me from cooking, like wanting to be a chef, I seen the movie Adam Sandler's Spanglish, where he's a chef, and I was just like, man, that just looks so stressful. Like, you gotta wake up at like 5:30, 6 in the morning. Man. You gotta like prep all this stuff. You gotta make these creations. You gotta like rely on what people think of your creation. I'm well, basically that's kind of like already what I'm doing right now, type stuff, but in a different sense. Yeah. But so basically, after a semester, I was like, I know I can draw a little bit. I know I can do something. So went to a counselor to see what it was, and he said, try this. I was like, all right. But painting and printmaking was what I majored in. I got my degree in. So it basically allowed me to master techniques of not only just painting, but other art forms of creation, such as sculpting, pottery, creative building, jewelry making. Digital art as well. Yeah, it definitely just allowed me to just manipulate different mediums.
Got you. And you currently practice most of those.
Yes.
Yeah. And then some here and there, you just you experiment with all of them. Yeah. And out of them, if you had to pick a favorite, which one would it be?
Man, it's so hard, just because like every time I do a new piece, I'm experimenting, doing something new. Like, the background is almost my experimental process.
Got you.
So I get to just kind of try something different. Yeah. Like, I always know, like, the composition at least is what it's going to be on. Like, I usually make a digital reference on my phone. So the digital part is always the tool that I need for me to, like, now have to sketch an idea.
Got you.
So I can just
got you. So that's basically your draft.
Yeah,
your sketchbook, your draft.
So, but painting in a sense, like there's so many forms of creating, like adding materials on top of the paintings or just different things. Like this is painted itself. Like I hand painted this.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead and lift it up and put it right to the camera. Yeah, right there. Yeah. Okay. So you hand painted that one.
Yeah. So
okay.
As an artist, I learned that you're always evolving and growing.
Yeah.
So you might start out in painting. You might evolve into the next medium, which might be photography. You might evolve into the next medium after that, which is sculpting.
Yeah.
So this is my figure.
Oh, nice.
My Gensho figure.
Nice. So you mass producing those now?
To a sense, they're limited release.
So people can order them.
Right.
Yeah. Got you. Wow. So you have a brand.
So basically, I do have a brand, have a character.
So you still you have character and you have a brand. So now you back into business.
That's always, you know, we call it entrepreneurship.
Yeah,
you know
entrepreneurship. That's a new word I just learned today.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to basically have people be able to recognize me in a sense, like, oh, if I see that, like, oh, that's a MAAD Kyng right there.
There you
know
go.
What I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
They can recognize me like, oh, yeah, it's no problem.
Yeah.
And that's basically trying to create a legacy in a sense. Like, I might be gone long, you know, after, but
eventually we're all gonna go, and,
you know what I'm saying?
And the energy that we pass through while we're here is really what determines what our legacy gonna be.
So what you leave behind.
Indeed.
Type stuff. So I'm trying to leave some great creations behind that way.
Now you have something else that is kind of interesting, which is the fact that your main lady, is she also creative?
She's definitely creative.
Yeah.
She does a lot of creative content all the time. She also paints too as well. But her business is she sells hair and hair accessories and also clothes.
Gotcha. So she's more into fashion styling.
Yeah. She's just creative all around.
Gotcha.
Like she also is a photographer too, so she takes pictures of the models for her products and stuff.
Oh wow.
So she's pretty creative. I mean, I've met her basically when I met her, like the times that we kept meeting in different random places, it was all at basically art events.
Gotcha.
So it was an art event that I was at, whether it was one in Miami or one at the art museum or just other art shows, like, or Afro Basel, just like just kept meeting at these creative spaces.
So you guys just running around at different places and
not even like coordinating, like we don't even have each other's number, and then like they were just randomly like seeing each other, like even randomly on the street, like I'm walking out of a building, she's like, I just got done shooting this model, like bar type
dude, I gotta do a Valentine's Day show with you guys. I like to really explore this that's a nice story right there. That's a good romantic story. So eventually, when do you pull the trigger? Let me give a spoiler after all, because when do you pull the trigger and you decide that, you know what, she's the one? Or what made you even think that, okay, she was the one?
Well, just my experience from graduating college and even being in a relationship during college. It was not a healthy relationship, so I definitely got to learn what I didn't like and how I should be treated. Yeah. And in a sense, I just got to kind of learn even more as I got older, like just meeting different women, just like seeing different personalities, or like ambition wise or drives. Yeah. And I'm a man of like faith and stuff like that. So I wouldn't say religious, but more so like universal. So like I read the universal signs, like you don't just keep bumping into somebody. We also went to the same high school. Oh yeah, so, but we never. And you guys never. In high
but
school.
Do you even remember knowing each other?
Yeah. Like we like seen but not like never like said anything to each other. So like until like 10 years later.
So what high school was that?
Cypher High School.
Great.
In Cyprus, yeah.
So, and you guys been together for how long?
It'll be 2 years in November.
Wow. Yeah, that's solid. Yeah, that is solid. You guys over the hump of
no, you know, I feel like it's always humps every.
Yeah. Oh no,
you know, but
yeah, it's a relationship.
We doing it together.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, but you passed that hype
right
stage.
No, yeah, so just like I mean, I don't know, like it's hype every day for me. Like,
I mean, it's like, you know, there's always there's that hype stage sometimes where normally people get into relationships and it's like there's the hype stage. Oh man, she or he, and then after that gets right to that peak, it's like okay, they can't he or she anymore. Right. At that point, you just start seeing it taking a different course, but. It looks like you guys have it solid, and the reason why I say that is because, of course, I follow you on Instagram, and I do see a lot of your posts. And dude, I'm one of those believers that I can look in a person's eyes and sort of understand that person's energy.
Right.
And I, not quite like you. My accident doesn't happen until I'm about 10 years old.
Okay.
Right. It was basically an assassination attempt on my father, and I fall victim to it.
Wow.
Dude, I learned how to identify enemy very early. So I think from that point on, for the rest of my life, I started to acquire the ability to attempt to de-escalate an issue prior to actually happening. Right. So I know when to leave something alone because I know that, you know what, that right here is definitely no good. He's going eventually he's gonna put me in a position where it's me or him. So I just I just walk, and a lot of people say, you know what, you should be a politician. But it's just that kind of, you can explain even how you get to it, but it's like you just kind of you look at it and you be like, sometimes you just gotta let it be. But and I see your energy, and when I say your energy, sometimes even the clips in which you guys are together and stuff like that, there are certain things that you can actually look at people and see and say, you know what, that is in its essence beautiful, because there's a level of innocence that exists, right? That you can't make up. You can't pretend. It's just there's a level of innocence that exists in your friendship, and that's what I'm talking about there. You guys have a level of friendship with a sense of innocence that it's like that is noticeable. People can see. It's like I remember, I think one of the clips that I saw in which I was like, wow, no, this is definitely beautiful. This is what some of our channels need to broadcast a lot more of. I don't remember, I think you were carrying her on your back or
that was a snow day, I think.
Right. And I'm like, you know what, why is it that, because half of the time it's like we flipping through channels and everything we see is it's like big ad, black love, and right after that is nothing but arguing and cussing and destruction and spiking and fighting and you know, there are beautiful black relationships, you know, stories like your stepfather, for instance, who was a good man who actually took upon the responsibility that was his on the daily. These are the individuals that we need to elevate and showcase to our communities so that people feel represented, because it's just crazy when a community automatically becomes represented by nothing but the negativeness of what happens in it. That's just but you know, in my opinion, that's why Diaspora Central came up, was really because I felt that we needed to showcase the diaspora culture and talent. And by culture, I'm not saying all the ratchetness. Nah, man. That's
reset on that.
Too much of that. It's already too much of that. There's a whole other side that very few people talk about, and that's what I kind of want to showcase, because the world knows. You mentioned your stepfather. Here in U.S., I did have a man in my life that was that father figure. His name was James Clark, and this man met me and took a liking into me. Him and his spouse, they were basically parents to me, James Clark and Edna Clark. And they are the ones that I would say that made sure that sort of hit me up to the streets, kept me out of the, you know, out of that trouble that we sometimes can get into, right? Because Miss Edna Clark, she was very straightforward. She would look at you. She was an educator.
That sounds like a straightforward.
Oh yeah, she would just she would just look at me, and everybody else was cutting out, and she would just look at me, and I knew what that look meant, and I'm like, yeah, that's not for me. Let everybody else. and you know, and that was good. And anyway, Mr. Clark is the man who basically changes my life, because this man at once I'm 17 years old, he picks up and he makes me watch a PBS special with him. And that was Les Brown speaking. Les Brown was talking about his life. And that one show changed my perspective in life forever. Because we always feel that, oh man, we got the worst, right? You got to imagine this kid who's in the States. He's living with relatives. His parents are not here. So, yeah, I don't have my parents. I don't this. You got all the I don't, and you completely can forget all the I do's, all the things that you do have. And ends up being that, you know what, after I heard Les Brown's story and all the things that this guy went through, in order to become who he became, I was like, well, it's possible. So it changed my perspective. Yeah. And I think culturally, that's what we also need. We see so much of what we don't have, or so much of the bad stuff that we're forgetting about all the good things that we do have.
Being very for what you do
indeed. Have. Yeah, so that was my my mental sanity moment right there. So I just debriefed.
It's all good.
Yeah, let's get back into your. So what you got going on now lately?
So right now, basically, after college, I had to just create. Did so many shows. Shows out in Miami, Art Basel, New York. Traveled to London, Switzerland, Germany, and Amsterdam to also show my art as well.
There you go. So you got visas on that passport.
Yeah. So I was known for like back in, I would say 2018. I was known for like this pattern, like this work of canvases. There's these pillows, basically like the sequence pillows. Up and down.
The ones with the fuzzy, fuzzy thing.
Yeah, so this basically switches back and forth. So I was making large canvases out of this, and I was painting images on one side, and then you can flip it and paint and have another image on the other side. So you would get two paintings in one.
Gotcha.
So people had like, what? Like you could touch the art and it changes, like, and it's just like people were just amazed about this. Like,
wow.
I was like, I ain't never seen this before. Like. So
and what sparked that idea? Not to take you out of your train of thought.
I was in Miami, Art Basel, showing for the first time. Okay. And I seen the material on a canvas, and I was just looking at it. It was a blank, blank, just for people like just to draw and mess with, like with their fingers and stuff. And I was looking at it, I was like, man, it'd be so dope if there was a picture on one side and another picture on the other side. Yeah. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make this when I get home and do that. And that's basically, and I did it. I get so much inspiration when I go to these art shows that's like Art Basel, just because you're seeing art in like from all over the world. It's an international art show that goes on for like 2 weeks. So it's like art on steroids, like seeing technology mixed with art, just art applied in different types of fashions. Yeah. So I always learn a lot from those different things, and because I went to school and got the degree and learned all these different things, so when I see a piece, I'm like, all right, I know how to make that.
There you go.
I see something, I can do that. I know exactly what they use.
Yeah. So when you're looking at something, you're looking from the technical perspective. You're looking from the creative perspective. You're automatically zeroing down to, it's almost like
detail.
Yeah. So you're the kind of guy, like if you go to an art show with you, it's like you just zone out.
I get real close up on the painting sometimes, like, okay, I see what you do right there. I like really examine the piece, like on some anatomy, just trying to figure it out. Just real curious. 'Cause I'm like, it's again trying to apply different things, grow, like do different things in my way. But because I was doing all these different things, no one could really pinpoint like, yo, that's a MAAD Kyng right there.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was so versatile.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing, being versatile.
No, it's a good thing.
But when you're trying to like become a artist that's known,
right,
branded or something, then you need to start identifying yourself with a style or an image.
Yeah.
And I tried to do it with the style, the sequence.
Gotcha.
But to me, honestly, like I like doing it, and it's very custom.
Yeah.
To specific like what people would want. But in a sense, it's just, I don't know, with fabric like that, like it being interactive, what's the longevity of it compared to an actual painting or a sculpture or something made that people aren't touching and stuff.
Yeah.
But I basically, after my last trip to Art Basel back in 19, I started working on a figure, a character, so I could just kind of like have something for myself. And I basically kind of came up with this chimera.
Okay.
Which is basically a mythological creature mixed with like goat, lion, and a snake. And then it just kind of started evolving a little bit more.
Okay.
And it started switching more to the faux dog, the mythological lion that sits in front of temples to protect.
Right.
And then with a mix of the samurai Japanese mask that warns off demons and stuff.
Right.
So basically it's this totem of protection.
Right. Now, are you doing with that character? Are you doing books? Have you been approached yet by any writers to actually? Are you thinking about even moving towards that?
Hit me up to do a book cover, but not necessarily of my character.
Okay.
But it was almost in a style.
Okay.
But it's been about almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
So I think the progress that I made from it being a little sketch on a piece of paper to doing it in paintings, and then also creating a 3D figure of it, is basically the good steps.
Huge. Definitely. Yeah.
So
and sometimes you kind of gotta go slow also, so that it can actually be as strong as it needs to be, almost like going from larva into butterfly, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And then also, I haven't done a big show with it. I've shown it a few times, and I've sold about 10 of them, and since I've started selling them about 4 months ago. Yeah. Which is good. So I'm only doing a release of 100. Okay. 25 of 4 editions.
Gotcha.
Different styles.
Yeah.
But just a little like info behind it. The name Gensho means phenomenon in Japanese.
Okay.
And I feel like a phenomenon is anybody who is basically looked up to, aspired to be, just trying to be great.
Indeed.
And with that being a phenomenon comes, a lot of different energies. Right. Good energies, and also people trying to come for your energy.
Indeed.
So basically, this figure is, again, it's a totem of protection. Yeah. It's on my box. It says, "You are a phenomenon, and you deserve all the wealth and protection that comes with it. May this Gensho be the totem of art that brings you good vibes and star power." So I mean,
there you go.
My figure itself is. I break it down and have even symbolisms in the figure itself. Yeah. The right eye is a swirl just to like mesmerize people, because phenomenon, you basically have this mesmerizing effect on you as well. And then the left eye is a star with the power symbol, because you got the star power. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. Yeah, you're the Mac.
You know what I'm saying? So it's all symbolism always.
Bragger, that's actually right into the hip hop thing.
You know what I'm saying? So I try to like always have symbolism, even like my regular art pieces and stuff. And I'm trying to do a whole pop up with it, but because I'm creating my pieces, people are liking the character and buying it, so it's like hard for me to build up a collection.
So as soon as you now, which actually takes me now to the question of NFTs. But let's go into a quick break, because when we come back, I kind of want to talk about NFTs and how that is applying to the creative process of individuals such as yourself that actually do real pieces. Definitely. Right? Yeah. So let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
I know you're somewhere out there, somewhere far away. I want you back. I want you back. I want you back.
Yes, and we are back. If you've just tuned in, you're locked into Diaspora Central with Gil Ingles and my guest today, MADD Kyng, and that's MADD KYNG.
You know the vibe.
Yeah, and that's your favorite new artist. Definitely my favorite new one. We were talking about the Gensho, your character, your new piece, collections of pieces, and that brings up the NFT, the new digital, I guess, what we gonna call that? Art currency?
That's exactly, basically a digital art currency.
Yeah.
And the good thing about it, I mean, regardless if the NFT was there or not, the art world has been basically going towards the digital route.
Right.
It's been going more towards technology driven, whether it's digital paintings, because that is that ability, digital sculpting, 3D printing. So art has been basically expanding itself, not only into fashion or into music, but also into technology. Basically, art is everywhere. It's architecture. It's the human interface between an object that we relate with. It's, you know,
it's really become life, and I think technology is eventually caught up with it, because I think one of the biggest difficulties that I would say that maybe the past two generations had is that they couldn't really find an interface that was as realistic to art and technology as we find them today. I mean, gracious, man, today sometimes you're looking at a movie, you can't tell if it is a cartoon or a real person, right?
The CGI is crazy.
It's crazy. And I mean, that's going from video games where the planes were a little plus sign and the bullets were a minus sign, and today, today
it's just up and down.
I think I just told my age now.
Even the VR setups and stuff, it's like that's where it's all going. It's basically a whole digital interface. Basically, people are going to have like their own avatars and stuff for them to interact in these social digital environments.
It's almost becoming like I mean, it's like everyone now, unless you have an avatar yourself, it's almost like you funny if you don't have a, like, even on memes, it's like at one point memes were like initially used to make fun of folks and kind of like try to pick on people. It almost became like, I guess, the way of poking fun at people, right? The caricature of someone, and all of a sudden is like you gotta have a meme in order to be considered cool
or to explain something.
But are you doing NFTs?
I have about 2 of them out. Okay. And again, the good thing about NFT now because it's basically a digital art currency. Before, paintings, artists, they were not getting royalties for paintings. Let's say someone bought a painting from them for $600.
That's it.
That person turns around and sells it for
$1 million.
You know, something like that. That artist is not going to see none of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, like, art world is so lucrative. I think back in 2018, I think it generated about $67 billion. And that's just because people can, it's an asset. You can move, you can make it say, oh, it's worth this now. Like, you know, that's how you can move your money around type stuff. So because paintings start to get more stricter, like people had to have, like, I think, who is it? It's certain people, like, they basically keep track of like the painting circulation.
Got you.
And so if you got this, you got to pay this tax on it.
Oh, so there's an entity that actually does that.
Yeah, so you got to basically pay a tax for like the paintings that you have.
Man, I gotta do a show on this.
Yeah.
I always thought that, you know what, you buy it and you insure it and you're good. So that aside from insurance, there's actually a tax when you're purchasing. There's this specific art tax that you.
If it exceeds a certain amount, you're gonna have to pay a tax on it. And then especially like storing it, let's say, in airtight place,
right? The climate controlled environment and dude,
it's big in New York. Like a lot of people do that in New York.
See, I never even thought about it from this perspective, to be honest with you. I never thought about it because it's like sometimes we talk about art and we just think about, that thing hanging on the wall. Dude, the most expensive piece of art, they kind of need to be in a sort of a controlled environment because the amount of light that hits it and how it hits it so that it doesn't lose its quality over time and all this counts. Now with the digital aspect of it, you also were mentioning that you have the ability of get royalties.
You get a royalty from the like so like you have your art piece on the NFT, right? And someone buys it. Right. Let's say you sell it for and it runs through it's an Ethereum base.
Got you.
One of those cryptocurrencies.
Okay.
So basically it's I'm selling for 78 Ethereum.
Right.
Someone can buy that and then sell it for more.
Right.
But you get 5 to 10% royalties from that sale, and then if it keeps selling more and more, it's never going to lose its value. Yeah. You're still going to always get, every time it sells, 5 to 10% of those royalties.
Wow. Yeah. So that's definitely a good thing. I better go ahead and start drawing stuff.
The only thing is though, if you're not digitally aware and already like, let's say like who is mainly going to really exceed these things is people who are on that digital platform, like turning their art animated or making it 3D, or just doing a CGI like type of stuff, like people, those type of things. Like, I mean, there was a meme to that. Yeah, of course, that was an NFC, but still, it's I think those people are really like digitally conscious with art. I have 2 filters on Instagram. One projects my Gensho figure out front, and then it has a selfie part where you have the head of the Gensho.
Got you. So how can people get those filters? Is there a name that they can?
You just go
search
to my
for?
Instagram page and you'll see like the little sparkly stars at the top, and then you just click
pull
on
from there. Got you. Wow, interesting. So one other aspect of you, of course, and painting is what you do best, but you also do tattoos.
Yes, I do. I try to like expand into different mediums. Yeah. So
skin is just the medium.
Yeah, it's just another canvas.
Because folks like me don't even think that way.
Right. To me, like the world is my canvas.
Got you.
Because I work with who I work with during the day, we have so many projects where we can turn a wall into greenery, or we can turn a wall to make it look like marble, or we can just do this whole carnival setup. Yeah. Just like a whole creative design. Like we've done Toby's Mint Coliseum that he had. We did his pandemic experience 2-story event, and then also his music video set for this basketball court. We spray like the whole basketball court from top to bottom. Wow. Mint color, the trash cans mint, the bike holder mint. Wow. We were spraying everything. The benches mint. So we just spraying everything. So we do all these different creative things, and it's like, I went from just being on canvas to being architecturally in buildings, environments, and then to also onto skin. So I'm just finding different canvases to expand on, not only just digitally. That's another canvas that I've started to go into. But I just try to expand differently into how creative I can be.
And what about graffiti? Have you ever gotten into it?
Well, when I went into New York, I learned a lot about graffiti, and I learned a lot about having like a tag and an iconic image, like just something like people like they can think,
so and so did, what's here,
type stuff. So I learned about trying to acquire that, and I did a little bit of tagging in New York, where I sometimes like just do my little thing, like,
got you,
but not in the sense of like big old graffiti murals. I've done like a few wall murals, but I wouldn't consider them graffiti, just because they weren't like the extensive lettering or
Got
like
you.
most of them are.
But you done a couple of murals, and also Houston seems to be pretty big in getting their artists to actually do murals for the city. Yeah.
So I've done one for Johnny Dang. His is on Richmond. It's just a big old mural of him.
Okay.
And then I've also done this one that's downtown. It's in between two buildings. It's like 30 feet long.
Got you.
But it's like a hidden gem. Like it was a special commission. Like the person had a view of a brick wall.
Got you.
And their neighbors had all like just brick wall.
Yeah.
Garage next door. So basically this little space, 27 stories up, hanging like with a ladder across this
man, that 27 stories, that's no little space. That's
well, I mean, the space
I got
between,
you.
like, the
between the two
balcony and the
buildings
wall,
is right. Yeah, it's a small space between the buildings, but you're talking about a big, huge canvas.
So, but I'm like on their balconies, just basically working from their balconies
across the wall. Yeah.
Scenic mural of basically Houston skyline.
Sweet.
With like greenery and all that stuff. So
wow.
They got their balcony
right
inside.
They look out. It's almost they looking at the city.
Yeah. It's like an outdoor city, so they don't see this brick wall. So
man, the blessings of creativity.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I try to like do different things. I got this 14-foot robot sculpture that looks like an Autobot. It's on clay and Highway 6. It's for this auto collision place. Yeah. I was originally just trying to cover the wall with car parts. They have a bunch of car parts. Yeah. And it ended up turning it into like a whole like robot itself, like arms, legs, head, and everything. And I painted it. So it just sits there like standing in front of the shop and stuff.
Wow. So now when it comes to tattoos, for instance, you also do the actual inking and all that, the needle and thing.
I do the whole.
You just do the drawings. I
do the tattoo. So if someone sends me like the design they want, like I'll tweak it however it needs to be, and then they'll come into the shop
and you do it.
And I do.
Yeah. What's the name? What's the name of the shop?
It's actually the Heights Art Gallery Studio or Art Studio and Gallery. It's up in the Heights off of Yale and 27th. Yeah. I just actually did my boss's tattoo last night.
Oh wow.
He did like a little Mickey Mouse head.
Got you.
But
I've always dodged tattoos, bro. I don't think I can submit myself to the pain.
It's not that bad, man. Like the needles, the guns that they have nowadays, they're not as intense as the ones that were like 5 years ago.
Old ones, So because I guess eventually at one point people actually
they were doing that. That's the traditional way.
So then the motorized
it's just
thing came out, and so now it's
just like you can't even tell, like buzzing. It's just buzzing basically, and then like there's numbing cream.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh,
and then people say
I may go into it, but see, then I also have an addictive personality. So
tattoos, man, people like them, man. I did my girl's tattoo. She got like an armband, 3 girls on her arm. Right. This Love Africa on her ankle. She got this ear tattoo that I did. In the ear. Yeah, it's inside.
Like,
yeah.
Look, I can tell you right
and
now.
I'm surprised that I've done a few like these area tattoos. Yeah. And people like, it's just pretty chill. Nah. And I'd be like, man, y'all bugging. Like, to me, like, I don't know if I could do that.
Look,
like,
I'm just hearing it. I'm hearing it, and I'm like, okay, I'm feeling.
It's relaxing. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Well, but it gives me hope. So eventually, I gotta get this one done, because I honestly have always wanted to have praying hands on my chest over the African map, and I want the praying hands right over the section where Angola would be. Okay. Yeah. So it would basically be the praying hands, and then the cloth across the praying hands. There, right? And then the African map. But I've been either my chest or my back.
That's a big piece to start with.
Yeah,
it's a big piece to start with. Yeah. You may want to start a little bit smaller.
I'm smaller.
And then see how it feels.
See, that's my problem. I don't know how to do nothing small, bro. I'm like, I have that, what they call Napoleon complex. When I do something, it's got to be big. Either big or nothing. Just,
man.
If I'm gonna deal with the pain, I'm gonna deal with that pain. Then if not, I'm just not. But
sometimes they gotta do them in sessions too, just because you can't traumatize the skin too much.
Too much.
Yeah.
Oh man, so there are actually other aspects into it.
No, yeah, it's
the scarring could be bad, right?
Yeah, people can get keloid skin.
See,
yeah.
I used to be that because see that was surgery right there.
There's a little keloid.
Yeah, that was surgery right there. So he had started to keloid, and then one dermatologist afterwards kind of gave me this cream, which I was not very disciplined in using it either, but it kind of made it go away because this thing was kind of a lot worse than that.
Yeah.
And a lot of even some of the scars from the bomb, from the assassination attempt that I was a victim of, the assassination attempt on my father's thing. A lot of those scars also went away. It's like the part over here. A lot of people think that is a part, but that was really a scar. Yeah, that's to hide a scar. That was really a scar. That's also part of that. But man, great conversation, dude. I definitely can't say how much I appreciate you stopping by. Anything else that you would like to say? Any shout outs that you would like to give, dude? You gotta come back, and when you come back, you gotta come back. You gotta promise me that you're gonna be back first of all, because I gotta do a highlight in a couple of pieces that you do have, like the Gensho. Just really do a highlight on the Gensho, and then we gotta try to do something maybe around Valentine's Day or so in February, where I kind of want to do a show with couples.
Okay,
yeah, and you got to bring the main lady for that. But aside from that, I need to do a single show also with the main lady, and it's just to kind of find out what she does and how she does. Because man, you guys are the people that we need to be showcasing to this community to show the positive relationships that are not so ratchet.
No, definitely. Yeah. She's Trinidadian too, so she's
there
got
you
the
go.
real Caribbean island girl.
Yeah. So she speaks Patois.
Yeah.
Have you picked up any?
No. I mean, I be throwing a little accent around sometimes.
Every so often,
I'm like, but
because you know that if you roll in Jamaica, a lot of people are gonna think you're Bob Marley linked.
I already know, man. Yeah. They gonna think I'm Skip or something.
Yeah.
But hey, Skip.
Yeah.
Nah, man.
Yeah. Real quick on the dreads. When did that happen?
I started my lock process. Basically the last week of senior graduation.
Okay.
And then I cut them off
completely.
2014. But I kept them and then reattached them.
Oh, really?
The following year.
You can do that. So you actually have the original locks as part of these locks. Probably not anymore. But at one point, you had the original locks as part of your locks. So I guess eventually, once they really start to lock, some of that also just you go in, because some of them actually do fuse. Right. They fuse themselves.
It's just knotting it. Yeah. That's about it. Interlocking the knots inside of that.
Got you.
But I've been having my locks reattached. But they didn't have like very long length already, but it's been about 7 years. Yeah.
7 years. Now, any specific reason why you did it?
Me personally, like I've always liked having long hair. But to me it's like that symbol of power. Kind of like Samson in the Bible.
There you go.
But as it got more into the journeys, I find out more. It's more like an interconnection just to the world around you. So these are basically like my antennas. So
keeps you focused.
It gives me focus, but it gives me a good sense of awareness around me, like spiritually, like just feeling people's energy, being more connected with the earth itself.
So you think that for the rest of your life, you're probably most likely gonna be dreaded?
I don't see
at least at this point.
Yeah, I don't see
why not. Yeah. Okay. Now, any shout outs that you would like to give out?
Definitely shout out to my main lady, Miss Felicia Ben. You know what I'm saying? Love you, babe. Shout out to the boss man, Gino. Keep it creative. We creating the city all around us. And then shout out to you, bro. Just thanks for bringing me onto the show.
No, man, it's definitely a pleasure for us, dude. That's what we're here for. Consider this place home. At any point in time you have anything new, definitely come by. Gensho, always bring Gensho with you. Do you have Genshos available?
They're in basically the turnaround time for those is about 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah,
because I got to hand paint them.
Yeah, so
just on this edition itself, but I have another edition that's just black and gold.
Gotcha.
That one turnaround is a lot more faster, probably like 3 weeks.
Yeah. So we gotta figure out exactly on one of them, because we gotta get one Diaspora Central. And what I normally do is we go ahead and put that order in, and then we get you to physically sign that one, make that one valuable, because at the end of the day,
they all come with a whatchamacallit too.
A certificate of
certificate, numbers, signed. I even signed the box itself.
There you go. Yeah. So. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. Bring that one real close to your camera. Yeah. That's it right there.
And all that good jazz.
There you go. So that way you know that you got authenticity.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Boom.
That's it. Nah, good stuff, man. Yeah, we definitely gonna, Diaspora Central is definitely gonna get one sign up, because that's what we're here for. We're here to support the individuals who are actually making this diaspora community the great community that we love, man. Listen, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. Check out the Gensho.
You feel it? You feel it?
MADD Kyng, your tags and handles, social media. One more time.
It's MADD Kyng, MADD KYNG. And just to let y'all know that MADD Kyng is not a title of sovereignty or royalty.
Okay.
It's a abbreviation.
There you go.
MADD is mentally advanced, driven dreamer.
Okay.
And then Kyng is know yourself, never give. So it's basically just, being mentally advanced and creating the realities, your dreams into realities.
Deep.
And then also knowing yourself, and never giving up on anything, never giving up on your dream, just never, giving into like, bad energy or whatever. Just but knowing yourself, yourself, you'll be good.
You're good. Yeah. No, definitely, man. Whoa, that's deep, dude. You just started a different show, man. you just started a different show, and I can't let this go out like this. So I gotta follow up on this now. What brought you up to this concept?
The homies, well, like
the MADD Kyng, the MADD Kyng concept.
My brothers out in Cali, who I was out in school with, we had a group, and the homie Kev, he came up with the title Kyng.
Yeah.
Know yourself, never give.
Yeah.
So we all kind of incorporated that title Kyng, and mine's kind of like developed more so. I had an artist name was MK Teasers first. Okay. And then it went from just MADD Kyng.
Right.
And MADD Kyng, it distilled from an inspiration of Kendrick Lamar.
Right.
Good Kid, Mad City. So, but it was a abbreviation. Mad City was a abbreviation.
Right.
And then it was also a spinoff. My dog, her name is Khaleesi. Okay. Which is from the Game of Thrones.
Right.
Her father's name was the MADD Kyng.
Okay.
So I kind of just started combining different things.
Yeah. Also, what breed? What kind of breed is she?
She's a bull boxer pit, real brindle. Okay. Brindle coat, so real cute and all that. But like I said, I just was pulling from different places. Yeah. And then just wanted my name to have a meaning to it.
Got you. And you know what? It's interesting because, dude, you talk about the universe. Sometimes a person being in tune with the universe and actually passing all that energy, dude. Have you realized that your name actually tells your entire history?
You want me to tell you my real name?
What's your real name?
Michael Kendricks Temple. So the meaning behind those is he who is like God, the greatest champion of the place of worship.
Yeah. Because, dude, I can tell you right now, MADD Kyng, this tells your entire history, because now that you broke down the acronym, I'm like, dude, everything that has happened on MADD is you. Right? It's like mentally advanced.
Driven dreamer.
Dude. Woo, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a great show, man. I definitely appreciate you coming by. I know that you're a busy man and you got other things to do, but you have made me a promise. You will be back.
I will, man.
Yeah, and you're also gonna bring back the main lady so that we can actually do a good show with the two of you to talk about to talk about healthy relationships.
Definitely.
Healthy, innocent relationship.
You know what I'm saying?
Real friendship.
And it's hard work every day. Hard work every day.
It's got to be, because that's what makes it worth it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right. And it's been great, man, having you. Until next time.
Thank you.
Remember the following. To all of you out there, remember, never give. Go for yours and go as hard as you can, because at the end of the day, if you don't, who will? Take care. Peace.